What is going on, everyone? It's LFC Transfer Room here, and today we are talking. This is the Premier League room. This is where we take a step away from Liverpool a little bit and start to look at what's going on in the Premier League and give some of our predictions as to the scores we think is going to happen, talk about the top four race, talk about the relegation battle, hopefully Everton going down, Matty? And basically just have a bit of a wider look at the Premier League, the things that are exciting us, the things that we're keeping an eye on, the games that we're going to be tuning into, that Brighton Man United game, which nobody cares about, and probably finish on Liverpool Spurs and the Man City Newcastle, because there's a bit to talk about with that. But to start with, we're gonna go with the 3:00 kickoffs. There's still a race for the top four. Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel today, Matty, has come out and said that they're being negatively affected by this takeover. Now, they are comfortably in third at the moment, Chelsea, with 66 points, but it's only 3 points behind Arsenal and 5 points behind Tottenham. Is there any way that, with 2 games to go, Chelsea could fall out?
They only need 1 point, don't they, to secure it? Could Wolves get points off from this weekend? Potentially, yeah. So I don't know if they'll get it this weekend. I do think they will get top 4 quite comfortably because they do only need 1 point from the remaining few games, and they've got Leeds next week, I think. So they'll probably get it then. So I don't think they'll be too fussed. I agree with what Tuchel said, though, to be fair, because what team wouldn't be negatively affected by that? I mean, I'm loving watching it unfold, to be honest, because of Chelsea, but what team wouldn't be negatively affected by it, to be fair? Like, it's just 3 days ago there was talks that they could have lost their license and might not even operate as a football club. So obviously the players' heads are going to be everywhere. They're all, quite a lot of the ones who are out of contract are leaving because they just want more stability and stuff. So yeah, it's going to affect them negatively, but they'll definitely get top 4.
And 2 of the players, Owen, that are coming out of contract are Christensen and Rudiger. Now, both brilliant centre-backs, not really an area Liverpool are interested in. Rudiger, I think, is rumoured Real Madrid, potentially Man United. Christensen, I don't know where I've heard. Which club would you see these 2 going to? Because Chelsea at the moment can't offer them a contract.
Yeah, I think they will leave. I think Rudiger's pretty much confirmed to be leaving and joining Real Madrid. And Christensen, I think it looks like he's going to be joining Barcelona. So look, Spanish teams have got themselves an absolute bargain there, free transfer. I'm sure they'll both want big wages, that's for sure. But it's about modern football, isn't it, really? Every footballer of that caliber nowadays wants that massive wage. There's no two ways about it. If you're lucky enough not to have that, then you kind of run the risk that they aren't going to be good enough. So look, then they pay it. And like teams like Real Madrid, Barcelona, they'll pay it, even though they've been in a bit of financial problem. Yeah, still no biggie for them.
And Drew, I'll come to you for sort of a match prediction as to how you think it's going to be going. Wolves have lost 3 on the bounce. Chelsea, 1 lost and drawn. Is this a 1 point to Chelsea, confirmed top 4? Bang, we'll see you in the Champions League next year when we've got a new owner.
Yeah, I think they'll see this game out. Wolves, have been pretty poor. I think they only won 1 game in April, and that game against Aston Villa in the beginning. So just, they still have Conference League to fight for too. So, you think they'd put up a fight, but the past 3 matches suggest otherwise. And with Chelsea, needing just 1 point to secure top 4, I think they'll get it now so they could focus on the FA Cup. That's pretty much the only thing they have to do other than secure Champions League spots. So the sooner they get that out of the way, the more they can focus on potentially the only thing that matters for their season for success.
And the main thing happening really on Saturday is some interest in the relegation fight. Burnley are playing Villa. Now, Villa haven't been on great form. I think I saw someone mention the other day that Lampard and Gerrard's stats are very similar, actually. And it's just Gerrard had a good start of the match. Do you see Burnley getting a result against Villa, putting more pressure on Everton?
I actually can do, I think Burnley have been playing fantastic, even though Sean Dyche, the absolute rock for the last, how many years has it been now? 8 years, was it? He's been there longer than Klopp at Liverpool now. And Yeah, I back Burnley to get a result there. You know, I think going while they're at home, I think that plays a big part. Turf Moor, always good atmosphere there, really. And yeah, it's all very tight down the bottom at the minute. Everton, Leeds, and Burnley. Either one of them, you'd kind of say they could go down, but I think it'll kind of come down to the home form. I think Everton might be all right now because it looks like Lampard's actually sorted them out now, and Burnley are playing well. So that I think is trouble for Leeds.
And Matty, how do you see the game going? Because obviously Burnley have been on, I think 3-1 on the bounce, haven't they? They've been playing really good stuff recently. Villa did get a win in the last match but it was against Norwich, so does it really count as a win? It's just a guaranteed 3 points, isn't it, for turning up? It's like a participation trophy.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't know. Villa played decent football, but Burnley are fighting for their lives. So I agree with what Owen's saying. I do think that they will get a result. I quite want Burnley to get a result, to be honest, because it puts the pressure on Everton. And I feel like Leeds could potentially get a result. We'll speak about that obviously in a minute, but I do think they can. So I'd like to see Burnley get a result just for the pure Everton aspect of it. But I do think it could happen as well because they've been playing decent the past few weeks.
And Drew, the Burnley manager, he's come in a draw, 3 wins. Doesn't he deserve a shot if he keeps him? Or is it?
Yeah, it's
An Ole Gunnar Solskjaer situation is coming at a perfect storm, and really don't give a contract to someone just because they've had a good run.
I mean, first, it's like he's done an amazing job. I don't think anybody would have foreseen that. The track record wasn't great, but yeah, I think my immediate gut reaction was like, yeah, you do a good job. You know, you deserve to get a shot, but you know, Burnley's kind of had this. You know, this past few years where they're just fighting relegation. I think that's in like every player's contract is like huge bonus if they avoid relegation. So preparing for that, it's, you know, what's the long-term future? So maybe this is the time, you know, you got rid of Dyche. That's a long history there for Burnley. Maybe it is worth looking for someone to build something, you know, more than just a relegation team. So I don't think they had that with the current manager. Like with that, it was just kind of get us out of this. So, you know, it should be interesting. I honestly don't have, you know, the best opinion on it. I don't know Burnley, you know, that well, but this is an opportunity for them to maybe make something, you know, more than they have in recent years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going down. You know, make sure that you tell us in the chat of the bottom 3. It's between Burnley, Leeds, and Everton. Who do you think's going down? Who do you think's going down, and who do you want to go down? We know you want Everton to go down. We can see it. Everyone wants Everton to go down in here, but who do you actually think is going to go down at the end of the season? Is it? I think we're talking on the chat. It's kind of between Leeds and Everton in our minds now. We think Burnley have got enough to sort of just get one more big result, really, isn't it? But the thing is, Matty, Burnley weren't playing bad football all season. I think they've been playing decent football. They were just toothless up front. And now they've scored a few. It's just the confidence is back.
Yeah, they haven't been playing bad, but they've still been playing Burnley football. I hate them, to be honest with you. If I could have them going down as well, that'd be perfect because they're just so negative. But I honestly do think Everton will go down, to be honest with you. I think they have to win all their games in order to survive ultimately. And they've got Leicester this weekend, and then they've got Watford, which would be interesting. Like I'm just open for a Ben Foster masterclass, and then they've got Brentford, which is a tough fixture, to be honest with you. So they've got it. They could win all the games. Everton have got a squad more than capable to win all the games, but I just do think that they could go down, to be honest with you, just because I just think Burnley find the form all the time at the end of the year. And Leeds, we don't know because they were so good last year and this year they're so bad. We don't know how they are going to handle a relegation scrap. And they got rid of Bielsa and got Jesse Marsch in. Is he up to the task of keeping a team in the Premier League? So that'll be interesting. But I just, something tells me that Liverpool are going to win all 4 and Everton are going to go down. There's just something sort of magical brewing.
Well, moving on to the Leicester-Everton game, Owen, Leicester just got knocked out of the Europa League. I hate the term, but I'm going to say it. A Jose Mourinho masterclass. A 1-0. Tammy Abrahams. They're going to be hurting. They're not going to be in a good place, Leicester. And then they've got Everton scrapping for their lives. Leicester have nothing to play for. I mean, why wouldn't they just let Everton just whitewash them? What have they got to play for? Professional pride? I think some of them are probably booking the holidays as we speak, and they're not.
Oh, sorry. Go on.
I was Owen, but you can go, Matty.
That's when I was.
Okay. All right. I think Leicester kind of, as you say, they've got nothing to play for now, really. They're kind of mid-table. Same bracket as kind of a Villa, Crystal Palace, where this sort of stage of the season, you want to be facing those sort of teams where kind of you're challenging for top 4, whatever, title. And maybe they're a little short of motivation. Hopefully that's not the case with Leicester. I think I actually think Everton can get a result there. I think it's been so long since they last got an away win, and this is probably one of the perfect games to do it. I've been to the King Power quite a few times, and the atmosphere there is just shocking. I think Everton could actually get a result in this one.
The only all right player is Richarlison. Drew, do you? I mean,
No.
Do you rate anyone in the Everton squad?
I'd rate maybe Decore. I like Decore, but besides him, I think Richarlison's just, I would not want him anywhere near the squad. And for me, it's like I kind of take a Roy Keane approach when players do their jobs. It's like he's the striker of Everton. He should be scoring goals. That's his job. Is he doing it, at an amazing quality level? No, he's not. So for me, he's not an amazing player. So. But I wouldn't take anyone from Everton's squad. But I like Decore when he was playing under Ancelotti. I think he was a good player then. I think it's an amazing job that he did. Looking back on it now, Everton fans, I don't know how they got Ancelotti in the club, but that was probably the worst thing they did. They had the chance for top 6, and they absolutely blew it. It's downhill from there.
And Matty, what a brilliant leaving of a job Ancelotti's done. He's gone from Everton potentially in a relegation battle this season to the Champions League runner-up against Liverpool. It's a hell of a move for him, wasn't it? It was the right choice.
Yeah, it was the right choice. That was a brilliant game, that wasn't it? It was a fantastic game of football. As I said, 3-1 on the stream as well. But with Leicester, Everton, I think Leicester have got Brendan Rodgers' ego to play for, to be honest with you, because they found himself pretty much mid-table because they were focused on winning, I think, the Conference League to get himself in the Europa League that way. But Ancelotti, I've seen there was reports that Real Madrid wants them gone, so I think he probably thinks he has to probably win the Champions League to keep his job there. It does seem that way inclined over there, but he's done really well there, and he's phenomenal in Europe, to be honest with you. Real Madrid are a different beast in Europe, and I still think we'll turn them over for 4 or 5. We're going to score in that final. I'm pretty confident.
Well, we're not previewing final yet, although it's in everyone's head. There's another final to go before that. In fact, there's 2, isn't there? Because we've got 4. Well, we've got multiple finals to 38. But Owen, score predictions for Leicester Everton.
Oh, I think it'll be 3-2 Everton. Quite a few goals actually. Both defenses aren't the best, especially Everton, and then Leicester. Soyuncu and Fofana, he had that injury. Not really the best centre halves in their team, so I can see there being quite a few goals.
And Jen, pretty much every stream now, you don't pay for BT Sport. I remember you saying anything, but you at least generate the BT Sport subscription for us. Thank you very much for the super sticker, as always. It's always appreciated. And Drew, score predictions for you for the Leicester Everton one.
I think it'll be 1-1.
1-1. So not doing anything major to get out. And Matty, I'm assuming you're just expecting Leicester to do them 10-0.
Nah, it depends, because if Jordan Pickford turns up, he's terrible. Like, but if he turns up like he did against Chelsea and they get an early goal and they just defend for their lives, then they've got a chance of getting the 3 points, to be honest. But I do think Leicester are they've just got that little bit more class in them, I think. So I think it'll probably be a tight game. I'm going to say 2-1. Can Everton have the mentality to keep grinding results out when they haven't been able to do it all season? Why should they be able to do it now? It's the end of the season. That's the only thing.
So by everyone's predictions, Everton are still going to be in the bottom 3 at the end of this game week. Obviously, they'll be on 34 games. They've got a game in hand, and that moves us on to the Leeds Arsenal game. So we can finish the relegation battle, then we can move into the top 4. Leeds against Arsenal. Arsenal are at home. Mikel Arteta, new contract. Drew, everything's peachy over at Arsenal, isn't it, at the moment? They've got to be odds on to get the top 4.
Yeah, this would be quite unbelievable if they let it slip again. Like, after losing those 3 matches in a row, I was laughing because I was like, only Arsenal, Tottenham and Manchester United are all juggling this, the bottles. But, Arsenal firmly have it. And if they beat Leeds at home, then they can afford to have a free punch at Tottenham. They have the better kind of run in. Tottenham, I wish we played after Arsenal, but maybe Tottenham's hoping that, Arsenal, I forget, there was one other game it looked like they could, maybe it was like Newcastle or something like that, where, Arsenal could potentially drop points. But Arteta needs to just get Arsenal across the line however possible. And a game against Leeds at home, you'd need to do it. And if they don't win, I don't see them getting top 4.
Yeah, and it's a real shame, Owen, that Arsenal play on the Sunday and Tottenham play on the Saturday. Because if Arsenal get 3 points against Leeds, they're on 66 points, which kind of makes it really hard for Spurs to sort of get that top 4. It just deflates them a little bit. But now, obviously, we can help Arsenal, which is a bit weird, and the other way around. Do you think Leeds have got anything to give? I think Jesse Marsh has been all right since he's come in.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think he's done pretty well with kind of a limited squad. There's been lots of injuries, and look, I don't think it's Bielsa's fault they found themselves where they have been. They've always been working with an extremely small squad, and they got close to Europe last year, so it shows the job he did. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. But yeah, this season's kind of been a bit of a car crash for them, just not gone at all as they would have imagined. Kind of the spine of their team, Cooper, Phillips and Bamford all out, all kind of international players really. So yeah, I think this game, it's Arsenal have been on great form. Look, Arteta's done fantastically well over the last year or so. And yeah, I really rate him now, to be fair. And yeah, I can't say anything other than an Arsenal win here, even though Leeds, I think, could pose a threat. I still don't think it'll be enough at the Emirates.
Yeah, Matty, there's something interesting about this Arsenal team because it's quite a young group of players that have all kind of come through together, all emerged together. Your Saka, your Martinelli, your Nketiah, your Smith Rowe. And I'm not saying it's a golden generation or anything like that for Arsenal, but it's definitely a group of players that could cause more of a problem for your Manchester United in the world trying to get back up there. How do they hold on to talent like that?
By getting fourth. It's the only way they can, really, because these players are quite capably playing the Champions League. But it was an interesting one with the Arteta contract, to be honest, because I feel like they should have given that to him should he maybe got fourth at the end of the season. And I do think that maybe might Arsenal could bottle top 4 now. We've seen in recent weeks they've lost quite a few games on the spin. And the next game after Leeds is Tottenham. And then they've got I think it's Newcastle and then Everton, something like that, yeah. But they've got Tottenham next, so they're going to want the 3 points. But I don't know. I just think Leeds might have it. They've got to have that fight in them. Like, Leeds have to find form now. They have to if they want to stay in this Premier League. They've got to find form. So we've seen when people apply the pressure on Arsenal, they can crumble. And everyone always says Arteta's some having a fantastic season, but whenever anyone's really challenged him, he's been poor. And he's only had good results really against the teams that Arsenal should be winning against. So I think if Leeds bring the game to Arsenal, they might have a chance.
Owens, score predictions. Phillips back in the starting lineup now. They have been looking a little bit better. How do you see this one going? Do you think Arsenal are going to do an Arsenal? It's at that stage of the season where they'll start to implode, or do you think Arsenal should have enough to get past Leeds on this one? What are your score predictions?
Yeah, I think Arsenal should have enough. I think it'll be 3-0. I like to see them a bit frustrated, to be honest with you. Even though Everton are in that situation, I've just never been a fan of Leeds, you know what I mean? I think the last time they tried stealing James Milner from us. So, look, you can't be doing that to us. So, yeah, get down to the Championship.
Just to stop it. New hair product, Owen?
No, just a haircut, actually. Yeah, it's I have to look fresh for the prom next month.
The prom, you're making me feel old. Do you need a chaperone? Do you need me to stand on there and sort of make sure that no one does anything inappropriate? Test the fun.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, I'll bring the vodka. It's fine.
Yeah, supplier.
Score predictions, Matty. Is this cut and dry?
I'm going to go 2-1 Leeds.
Oof. And Drew, score predictions for you?
2-0 Arsenal.
Okay, majority saying Arsenal are going to stay in the top four, which might be a shock to some because obviously Tottenham have got an easy game against a club called Liverpool. Liverpool, yeah. Who have been on some sort of winning streak, it says here, and don't seem to lose games. It's bad timing for Spurs, isn't it, Matty?
Yeah, but I feel like that's why Arsenal might drop points because they know Spurs will this week. So I feel like they'll go into the game knowing that because they are beatable. But then onto Spurs, made some good signs in January. I did say when they got Conte in, if they keep hold of him, they could maybe win something. I'm not going to say they're going to win the league or anything, but they could go and win like an FA Cup or League Cup or something in the next few years. But they've made some good signings. That Kuleveski's a decent player. I love Heung-min Son. I think he's fantastic. He's probably one player in the Premier League I'd take at Liverpool. But Liverpool at Anfield's a different beast, and I can't see nothing more than like us steamrolling them, to be honest with you. I really can't. I think we've just got that motivation in us. We know we have to get a result. We'll speak about City in a minute, but I do believe that Liverpool have to get the result, win every game, we win everything. So I can't see nothing more than Liverpool winning on Saturday. Feels like Sunday because
Feels like Sunday, soon as it's like 7:45, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't understand it. 7:45 on a Saturday, it's that all about. I mean, it's good to go straight into town after, I suppose, but it's just a nightmare.
And Drew, are you worried about that? Son, Kuleveski, how they're approaching high lines. Son getting in behind is always a risk, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Tottenham can set to really hurt us on the counter. I think Conte is a brilliant manager and he can set up against us really well. I think it comes to us in a really good stage of the season. I think we have all the motivation we need to win this game at home with everyone seemingly in form. I think that perfectly suits us to get a result from this game. I don't think it will be easy, but I think we'll beat them at least 2-0. I'm actually happy with the time of the game because for once I don't have to wake up at 4:30 or 7 in the morning. It's a nice 11:45, so I get to sleep in and hopefully enjoy a nice comfortable Liverpool victory.
No, we're not going to spend too much time on the Liverpool Spurs game because we do previews for that. We're probably going to spend more time on Man City Newcastle because that's what we do here. We look at the other games going on. But score predictions for the Liverpool Spurs game from you?
4-1 Liverpool.
Oof. Owen?
I can't see it being that one-sided. Look, I think I'm probably joined by the two most optimistic, positive guys here, Matty and Drew. So, look, I think it will be 2-1 same as last season, like very tight, straight to the end. And Kane and Son do make me very scared on the counter attack. But yeah, I think we'll have enough in the end with that Anfield press.
Overrated, Harry Kane. Overrated. He really is, though, isn't he? He is. He's so overrated. He's had a terrible start to the season. He's bagged a few goals since Christmas, and everyone's creaming him again. He's so overrated. But do you know what? I'm going to say 4-0 actually, because I've just remembered if Alisson keeps a clean sheet for the remaining Premier League games, he equals Petr record as for the most clean sheets in the Premier League. So yeah, he's going to keep all the clean sheets. So 4-0, I'm going to go with.
Well, Harry Kane's now 6th in the goal scoring, so 13 goals, 8 assists, played 33.
£100 million was for him. 13 goals.
Matty, he got us points against City, so
yeah,
I mean, conversion rate 16%, which is the lowest in the top 23 top goal scorers. Anyway, we're moving on from this. We're going to Man City, Newcastle. They were terrible against us, Drew, but John José masterclass. St. Maximum's come out, he's like, well, if people could deal with my service, then, I'd be getting 15 assists. I'm as good as Mane. Do you think Newcastle are starting to break apart before the big revolution in the summer, or do you think they can pull something together against Man City? Give me some hope, Drew. Come on, you're the positive fan, as Owen called.
I think this is the chance for City to crack. I think if Newcastle want to get a result and want to make a statement, they can in this game. I think this is the perfect time to attack City. I think Newcastle's got enough talent to worry City at least. I think it's one of those ones where if Newcastle gets an early goal, then they can hold on, make it nervy for City. I'm hoping it gets to somewhere like 70th minute where Newcastle either have something to hold on to and it just makes it nervy for City. Like I remember the Crystal Palace game when it was 0-0. Once it got to that point, it just didn't look like City were going to score after that. And Crystal Palace arguably should have gotten a goal. But I know it's at the Etihad, but unless it's a game where Man City just steamrolls them, I think this is the one where Newcastle can put a chink in that armor and let us through.
Yeah, make sure that you like and subscribe to the video. If you're new here, we do content, mainly Liverpool-based content. This is one where we look further afield and look at other Premier League things. But make sure that you put your score prediction. We're currently talking about Man City, Newcastle in the chat. What score do you think it's going to be? Owen, I don't know if you watched it, but Man City were through. Man City should still be through. Right now, I still have no idea how they got knocked out because it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't have happened. And it must break them mentally. I know Pep Guardiola was all cheery and light in his press conference, but how would you be mentally being in the lead for 118 minutes of a 120-minute tie or whatever it was? They can't be in a good place, can they?
No, they can't be. It speaks for himself, really. Man City have always had that Champions League problem. They've wanted that trophy. Look, the Premier League, it doesn't mean much to them, really. They've won it now, how many times? 4 or 5 times. It's not a big deal to them, really. Yeah, it'll be nice, of course, but look, the Champions League is the one they want. And now, they're going to be very, very drained. And look, I'd love for Newcastle to get a result. I really would. And look, it's been probably really draining for Man City having to play those 2 ties, like one of the highest intensity games probably in a long time. Even though back in 2019, I'd say Liverpool-Barcelona, we had the best kind of semi-final. I do have to give it to Real Madrid and Man City this time around. Unfortunately, our games against Villarreal couldn't quite match up. But yeah, I think Man City, if they get that early goal, and that's what it's always about with City, especially in the Premier League, teams just die to them, really. They get suffocated and they struggle immensely, especially at the Etihad. So look, if Newcastle can get to 70 minutes, as Drew said, then yeah, I think they possibly could stand a chance. But if not, then no chance at all.
And Matty, I mean, let's be honest. They brought off some players, you know. They brought off De Bruyne. They brought off some of their key players, and this is probably what got them knocked out of the Champions League. But those key players will have, you know, they didn't play a 120. You know, Kevin De Bruyne came off before the end of the 90, so there is a chance that Man City, you know, are fit and healthy, and they're at home. It's not like they're in the cauldron that is Newcastle ground, which could have affected them quite badly. So it should be relatively simple for Man City in this one. But you're not of that opinion, are you? I've seen it on chat. You think this is going the other way?
It's hard because one deciding factor with City that I think is so important to them is Kyle Walker. Now, God knows how long he's out for, but it looks as though St. Maximin could be going up against Ake or Zinchenko, potentially, which then fills with a little bit more confidence. But City, when you look at the running, bearing in mind Wolves, I've got a game in hand on West Ham and they're only 3 points behind them. City have got to play Wolves and they've got to play West Ham, who are now not in that final, so need to secure European football by winning games. And then they play Villa, who've also got nothing to play for. So I think City are going to drop points more than once, to be honest with you. And anyone who thinks that all their heads won't be cabbaged, they're mad. Like they had two hands on the Champions League final. They did, and I wouldn't say it was Pep's fault, because to bring on your defensive players in with that much time left, you have got one eye on the Premier League. You want to win the Premier League and the Champions League. I imagine that Jurgen Klopp in that point in the game would be bringing James Milner and stuff on if we had both feet in a final, basically. So the fact that the other players couldn't come on and defend that lead is embarrassing, really, for Man City. Maybe that African curse is true. Who knows? The one that was Bruce Grobbelaar talks about with us when he pissed on the post, we managed to win the league. So who knows? They might actually be true. But I don't know. I just think that Newcastle could potentially get a result here. Even the fans, the City fans, like they're going to be mentally drained themselves, to be honest with you. Like they're at home, but how many of them have just come back from Madrid and just seen the team knocked out of another European game at the biggest stage? They bottled it. They literally bottled it. And in the second half of extra time, they could have only scored one goal and went to penalty and have a single shot on target. Like, the mentality's got to be shot. It has to be. And if anyone who thinks that it wouldn't be is mad. Like I think City, this could literally define the season for them. They could end the season trophyless, and I strongly believe they will. Whether it's Newcastle to drop points in or West Ham or Wolves, but I do believe they'll drop points, and I don't think Liverpool will. So I do think we'll win all four. But the thing that makes me think Newcastle could get a result this weekend is Kyle Walker. He's huge for Man City. I know we always slate him because he gets played ahead of Trent and that for England, but he's still a world-class right back. He really is. And then the key thing about Kyle Walker playing is it frees Cancelo up on the left side. Now, Kyle Walker not playing means Cancelo's got to move, and you've got St. Maximin going at Zinchenko or Ake. So they could get a draw, I do think, yeah.
Has he convinced you, Owen?
Yeah, when he puts it like that, I'm thinking, oh yeah, definitely. St. Maximin's gonna be having a field day. But nah, still it's the Etihad, and look, Man City are just too good.
Fans, to be fair, when they played the Etihad, they play all right, and I know we always the Etihad and stuff, but they have got an all right support. To be fair, like when they win,
it's fantastic. Yeah,
they got a good.
We're clipping this, by the way, Matty. They have an all right support. Is the biggest praise you've ever given them, I think.
Oh, I can't stand them, to be honest with you, James. But I'm just trying to find some things that might make them slip up. But I do think their fans are going to be done as well. Do you know what I mean? Like Owen said, this is what they want. In their eyes, the season's done. And what's better is us Scousers again are going to Paris, collecting cups in May. It's pissing everyone off. It's boss.
Drew, from I mean, I've got a couple of friends who are Man City fans, and the main thing that they're saying to me is we want to win the league just so that you don't win the quadruple because we couldn't cope. Because they want to believe that Guardiola is better than Klopp. Which is a strange motivation, but he's a great manager, Guardiola, but he can't bring in the big trophy, can he?
Yeah, I think his confidence will probably be rocked more than anyone. Like he's had the job at Bayern, he's had the job at Man City, had all the tools at his disposal to get the trophy, and he just can't seem to get it over the line. Like, he's, credit to him for facing the questions, but at the end of the day, you can't ask for much more in his position, and it's really going to be a cloud over his his legacy that he couldn't get the Champions League at two of the top clubs in each of the leagues he's been in. So,
okay, so I've got a final question for each of you and for the chat. So put the answer to this in chat. If Man City win nothing, does Pep leave?
I was just about to ask you that.
Yes or no? Does Pep leave if Man City win nothing? Matty, I'm going to start with you because it looks to be conflicting for you.
I don't know, because I feel like Pep Guardiola has got the ego where he wants to go out on a high. Now, would he leave? I know we still have a year on his contract anyway. Would it affect him extending? Maybe. I don't know. It depends whether he's got the mentality in him to go another 4 years up against Jurgen Klopp, because that's ultimately what he's going to be weighing it up against. He's not bothered about anyone else in the league. It's Liverpool or City's world, and everyone else is just living in it, to be fair. And it's whether, like Klopp always said, he had to evaluate.
Get off the fence. Yes or no?
I don't know. I've always said I don't think Pep will extend anyway. But
so it's not this. At the end of his contract, he's gone if he doesn't win anything.
Yeah, but then I used to always think he'd go back to Barca, but I think like that. I feel like they'll keep on to Xavi. It depends how they do next year. But if come the end of next year and Pep hasn't extended and Xavi's had a poor season at Barcelona and poor in Europe like they have been this year, then potentially. It depends. Maybe
about 15 ifs.
It depends. I don't know, James. I don't know.
Owen, yes or no? Otherwise, we'll be here for 2 hours if we let Matty carry on.
Yeah, he'll be gone.
He'll be gone?
Pep is a quitter, and when things get tough, you've seen it before. Well, not really before, really. You've never seen him kind of fail before. And yeah, because he's always won. He's always had everything he's won. Like Sheikh Mansour, when he doesn't win a trophy, give me £1 billion. I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think it's going to be different. And I think he's going to walk. I think he'll say, right, I've given it everything. People say about squad depth. Man City squad depth hasn't been good enough this year. Yes, it has. You have to look at it, how much money they've put into it. And yeah, at the end of the day, if the squad depth isn't there, then ultimately Pep Guardiola has failed as a Manchester City manager.
To be fair, I would agree the depth is shocking what they've spent the money poorly. 100 million on Jack Grealish, for example, isn't the best bit of business. But am I right in saying, is Luis Enrique leaving the Spain job after the World Cup?
Yes. And he's interested in it. He has mentioned he's interested in it.
Yeah, that's where I do think Pep may go, because he's done... The only other league he may go is Italy, so he's done the 4 big leagues in the national team. But I do think he'll go at the end of his contract because the Spain job will be available as well.
Drew, push for time. I'm just going to go yes or no from you.
If they get Haaland, he stays. If they can't get Haaland, he goes.
Oh, that's I like. You see, that's how you do a caveat, Matty. Right, this has been LFC Transfer Room, and this is us assuming that Pep will leave if they go trophyless. And we think Newcastle might be able to do something. It may be more hope than expectations with us being a Liverpool fan channel. This has been the Premier League Room. We are LFC Transfer Room. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we will catch you on the next one.